Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow car enthusiasts, to another exciting edition of My.na Cars. My name is Okito Greg, and here we are at M&Z Mercedes-Benz dealership here in the heart of Windhoek. Today, we are bringing you exciting new technology. They are introducing their electric car charging stations powered by solar energy. And of course, there are a couple of wonderful new electric-powered Mercedes-Benzes on display for you to see. It's a wonderful day, and this technology hopefully will be spread all over Africa soon. But this is the start of the rollout of these charging stations into Namibia. M&Z is promising to bring 5 more this year and around 30 by the end of 2025. But we've got all the details, and we'll be showing you the impressive vehicles as well. So stay with us, and welcome to another edition of My.na Cars.
Firstly, what happened is we all know the situation about, was it the chicken before the egg or the egg before the chicken? So we know that worldwide all the auto industry is moving towards electrical vehicles because of emissions, efficiency, etc. etc. What are we doing here? Why did we decide to go solar? And what is the payment system? So first of all, it is a business measure, if you want to call it like that. We know that there is virtually no electric cars on the roads in Namibia at the moment, for the same reason that because there are no charging stations and you can only charge at home, so you would only be able to move within your home area, or you have to put the charger in the back of the car and then go somewhere else and then charge the car, which will probably take the night because they are not quicker chargers. So we decided then as a company that we would want to spearhead the charging network in Namibia. And we decided to go solar because firstly it doesn't make sense to take dirty energy and put it in a car and then claim to be clean in the end of the day. That doesn't make sense. Secondly, we all know the load sheddings that we have in South Africa, and we possibly could face that same scenario in Namibia. So what does it happen? You've traveled for 3 hours or 4 hours and you get to a charging station and somebody is waiting in front of you and there's load shedding for 2 hours and he must charge for an hour and you must charge for an hour. So after 4 hours you might be able to continue your journey, which doesn't make sense. The concept doesn't work. So that was the one challenge. So we decided to go solar because it's twofold. Initially, when we do not have enough vehicles that will utilize the power that we generate here, which varies between 90 and 120 kilowatt hours per day, when the capacitor, which is basically the modern version of a battery, but it doesn't have any chemical reaction inside, therefore it's got a 25-year plus lifespan. We decided then to put the solar on and we utilize the solar then to feed it back into the business or whatever service station or guest house or wherever we're going to put up the charging station. We feed that into their network, and therefore they've got a saving on electricity, thereby giving them an advantage. However, you get the situation that the battery is obviously not big enough or strong enough in order to charge 5 cars with stored battery power. So should the event happen that there are too many cars behind each other, or one car charges at night and we cannot replenish the electricity in the charger, we then draw the electricity out of the network, in other words out of the NAM power network. So therefore we should virtually never have a situation that you cannot charge with our charging stations. Currently what we can do is we should be able, on an average charge, we should be able to charge 2 cars. However, if it is obviously one car that's completely empty, similar to this EQB, which has got a 100 kilowatt hour battery, then obviously we would only be able to charge this car or one of these cars once a day with the charge that we have got, and then the solar panels have to replenish that charge, which will obviously take a bit of time. So we will never have the situation where we don't have electricity to charge the car. It's got a very intelligent, what can I say, mind or network, but Mark from Quantum Solar will be able to answer any technical questions that you might have with regarding to that.
We all drive, but what do you drive for?
I drive for the sound.
I drive for turns like this.
We drive for the airtime.
I drive for the challenging conditions.
I drive for these night lights.
I drive for the uphill battle. I drive for the acceleration.
Hey, I drive for that too.
We understand why you drive. That's why Shell Helix fully synthetic motor oils are made from natural gas, designed for ultimate engine performance. Drive on.
I'm here with Mark from van Schalkwyk from Quantum Solar Investments. Hi Mark, how are you doing?
I'm very fine, yourself. Thank you.
Good. Tell us about Quantum Solar Investments.
So Quantum Solar Investments is a proudly Namibian company established in 2016 by myself and Mr. Dries Trudeau. We are very passionate about renewable energy. Okay, so we do everything solar, renewable, wind, hydro throughout the country. We have a large footprint. We service the entire Namibia and sometimes even parts of Cape Town as well.
Wow.
Yes.
Excellent. And
yeah.
you guys have partnered with M&Z?
M&Z has partnered with us. I mean, we are truly grateful for the experience, and thank you to M&Z for allowing us to present our design and our plans for this rollout, this exciting time.
So you designed this installation?
Yes. So it was a group of companies, actually, a group of electrical, civil engineers and ourselves as well that put all of this together. But everything. So this is a parking bay that's essentially covered by solar panels, okay, which then feeds power into supercap cells, which in turn gets converted into electricity to be able to charge electric vehicles.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And your partnership with M&Z, it involves a rollout?
Yes. So a nationwide charging grid network rollout. I think there were discussions of about 26 stations in total, going all the way to Swakopmund, up north, down south. And yeah, so just to make it generally possible to drive with an electric vehicle anywhere you would with any other vehicle as well.
Excellent. And what do you think is the future of electric vehicles and also renewable energy in Namibia? How does it look now?
Well, obviously our country has the second best solar irradiation in the world. Okay, so that's a big plus for us in the solar industry. I mean, that means the conversion rate between solar power and what we can capture is very high. So solar has a big future in Namibia, yes, and renewable energy as well. So, and I think that's also part of the reason why we went with renewable sources for this project. I mean, all the elements into this build have at least a lifespan of 20 years.
Oh.
So, I mean, there are people saying that the manufacturing of these products also contribute to greenhouse gases, etc., etc. But because we only do that once every 20 years for a station like this, I mean, that's pretty green if you ask me.
And you guys also have the capacity to maintain, look after it?
Yes, definitely. We have we have a massive technical team in charge of every single station that we build. We have an operations and maintenance team that we recently appointed after the partnership with M&Z as well. And with that being said, we service the entire country.
Excellent.
On a phone call.
On a phone call.
Yeah.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mark, I'm so proud of you guys. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.
And let's all drive green.
Yes.
However, there are areas in the country possibly Swakopmund, Walfish Bay, where solar panels not necessarily will make sense because of you have got corrosion, you have got weather conditions. So we might have, or similar to a shopping center, let's call it Grove, where you might have the situation where you cannot put solar panels, and then we would work off the grid solely. Currently, this solar or this charging station is a 60 kilowatt hours charging station, which would mean that if this car is on quarter tank or charge, that you would probably charge this vehicle within 1 hour. But also, you mustn't forget that many cars have got a limitation in terms of how much power they can absorb, which depends on the wiring of the car as well as on the battery of the car. So that's being developed further and further so that the charging time comes down and down and down if you compare it to 2 years ago. So what is the next step? Our next step is for 2023 to put up another 5 charging stations during 2023, where we will be trying to, or we will definitely be covering the area to the route, to the coast will be the first one. Okay, now how far are they apart? Currently the first town from Winter will be Usakos, which we know is about 220 kilometers. So the furthest one will be 250 kilometers from Winter, which will be Ochuwarongo. So, but most of the modern cars have got a range of 400 kilometers plus, depending obviously on the speed that you drive. But if you drive a moderate speed, and especially if you keep to the legal limit, then there will be no problem for you to reach and exceed the 400 kilometers. So there should be sufficient charging stations right until Mashakati. Eventually, which should be then done by end of 25. We should be having covered the whole country, and the main routes will be covered first. So obviously first to the coast, then from the south, which means Brunel, Keetmanshoop, Marintel, and then to where we are currently, and then Usakos, Swakopmund, and then we will go obviously Ochuwarongo, which is a nice connection from Usakos side, and from there up further north. To the east, in other words in the Caprivi, that will be the last leg because there's less requirements for electric cars in our opinion at this point in time. And depending on how the electric trucks are developing, which is obviously a big onslaught that is also coming, we might have to consider that as that's the main route in terms of exportation to Zambia.
NMH Ad 1 brings you news from all across Namibia. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact nmh1@synergy.com.na. NMH Ad 1, your lunchtime news companion.
Welcome back. Yes, and here we have an enthusiast. Sabran, how are you?
Good, thanks, and you?
Good, good. You like the electric cars?
I'm really passionate about these cars, yes.
So what do you think about today's launch?
It was amazing seeing another big automaker and a big automaker group in Namibia introduce an electric vehicle. This is the third brand introducing them, and this is great to see that we have another electric vehicle available.
And the charging stations, that's a game changer, don't you think?
I mean, it's for all electric vehicles, not only Mercedes or people part of the M&Z group. Now, any electric vehicle, once they get rolled out, can drive long distances between cities. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, once the rollout is done.
Once the rollout is done, but it's really something Namibia drastically needed.
Yeah. What do you think about Namibia's move towards electric vehicles in general? Do you think we're moving fast enough?
Currently, no. The government set our targets, the NDC targets, at end of 2021 to have 10,000 electric vehicles in Namibia by 2030, and currently we have 60.
Okay.
And you can see 60 and 110 and 10,000 is really
big difference.
It's like 9,900 and something too few.
Yeah.
So currently we're not moving fast enough, but there's hope that if everyone works together, governmental policies comes in, automakers plays their part, we can reach this goal to not only save money for the consumers, but to reduce our carbon emissions as well.
How did you get interested in electric vehicles in the first place?
I was interested since 2014. I mean, when I was in grade 4 still. So it was something that I met people that imports the Nissan Leaf, and then my passion really grew. And when I heard about the government considering these things, I don't know, it's just something that it saves me money personally. It's more convenient, you don't waste time at the petrol station, and it's greener for the planet. It's a win-win-win for everyone.
Oh, good. But what about those motoring enthusiasts like myself who like the sound of the engine, the growl?
I don't know, that's something I never personally experienced. I personally hate a loud car. If I can drive a quiet car where I can hear my thoughts. But for motor enthusiasts, that's 0 to 60. It's impressive. These cars are quick. Even if you drive a Nissan Leaf, there's times where you realize, oh, that was a bit too fast for in the city, where you spin your tires there at the robot. So the cars still pack the power.
Okay.
So,
and if you have anything to say to our audience, what message would you give?
I would just say that even though electric vehicles are a new thing, which you don't necessarily know, try it. I mean, you wouldn't know if you don't try. You can try it M&Z, EV Namibia, all of them have electric vehicles, and you won't know until you at least have a test drive. And I mean, maybe you are surprised with what you find.
And maybe you'll be won over. So stick with us, we'll bring you more. We'll be right back.
Take a load off and tune into another episode of Brave Namibia as we take a look at both ordinary and extraordinary Namibians. Brave Namibia is broadcasted on NTV Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. and oneup2.com, as well as broadcasted on the following Facebook platforms on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Republican, Algemeine Titan, Namibian Sun, and all Namibia Media Holdings pages. For more information, contact the Brave team at brave@synergy.com.na. Brave Namibia, for the ordinary and extraordinary Namibians.
How much time does my electric vehicle take to charge? A recurring question regarding electric vehicles is, how long does it take to charge? The answer is simple. It depends on different factors, one of them being whether you are using AC or DC. AC means alternating current. This is the electricity that you usually get from the outlets in your home. It is also used for your Mercedes-Benz wall box and at most public charging stations. Here, the charging capacity is commonly up to 22 kilowatts. As the battery actually can only accept DC, direct current, there is an onboard charger inside every vehicle. This charging device converts the alternating current to the direct current, which is suitable for the battery. DC also facilitates a short period of rapid charging with high performance. The trick is that with DC, the conversion of electricity from AC to DC already happens at the charging station. This means that more performance is available, and more performance means shorter charging times. Plus, the charging times also depend on the size of the battery. This means that the larger the battery, the further you can drive on one single charge. In turn, the charging also takes longer.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Don't say we don't keep you on the forefront of developments, but we are almost at the end of our show, My.na Cars, and it's almost time for us to head home. Just like if you were an M&Z electric motor vehicle client, you'd be heading home with one of these boxes here behind me, which you can install at home so that you can charge your car. And of course, they also provide portable charging stations for anybody who buys one of the electric vehicles to keep in the boot so that you can charge on the go. With that, we wish you all the best. Have a wonderful week ahead and a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us. See you next time. Goodbye.